Hi, my name is Richard Leak, and this is my Unit 3 Parent and Babysitting Advice video. Um, this is going to go out to all parents, all soon-to-be parents, anybody that might want to have a child, aunts and uncles, babysitters. These are all things where as though you can learn from, and these will be tips in raising your children and babysitting kids as well. Um, I'm a father of two boys. I have a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. A few years apart, but I'm raising both of them. And the first one, I've actually learned a lot of things, whereas though I'm putting into place for us raising the youngest one now. So I think I'm pretty much qualified to give you a few key points, things that'll work for me, that hopefully will work for you. You know, um, I am a full-time daddy. I'm at home pretty much all during the day with my kids because most of my work is done at night. So I'm pretty much with the kids during the day, and I'm their care, I would say, babysitter, slash parent, slash daddy, all the above. And working with my boys, it gave me a few tips. And this video, pretty much, I'll be telling you, touching on a few things that parents need to know, babysitters need to know to be ensure they are putting into their day-to-day parenting skills, or babysitting skills. So, emotional support, I found that it's pretty much very important to give the child really good emotional support, meaning after a good deed is done, giving them praise, clapping, smiling, let them know they've done a good job. That emotional support earlier, that'll pretty much teach them that good deeds, good things happen. Good rewards comes with good deeds. So those are very important things to make sure you do with emotional support with the child. Showing a positive attitude when you're communicating with them. When you communicate, you gotta smile. You gotta make it fun. You gotta give a yay sometimes. I feel as though those are things that help a young child pretty much absorb the good things. Another thing we need to do is we need to pretty much set boundaries and rules. You got to set boundaries and rules. You got to make that perfectly clear. Um, that is a very important thing because no matter where you at, who you are, or what age you are, you always have boundaries and rules we already have to follow. And this is from the youngest to the oldest. I told my 9-year-old now that he's 9, some of the boundaries and rules change, and the consequences are much further, with that, And I tell him also, he needs to, pretty much, as far as the boundaries and rules are concerned, we need to follow those things. We need to make sure the boundaries and rules are clear and consistent. That is very important. We can't set a boundary today and a rule, and then it got loopholes and it's not clear. We got to make it perfectly clear and perfectly consistent. We gotta make sure that the disciplinary is there. Disciplinary is very important. We need to set a punishment that fits the age of the child. I had to learn this the hard way, because I have a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old. So my 2-year-old had to sit in timeout for 2 minutes, whereas though the 9-year-old, it'd be kind of hard to sit him in timeout for 2 minutes for something he has done. So he has different punishments to fit his age. Instead of that, I might take his video game away from him, and that'd be his punishment. Because that punishment fits his age a lot more than a 2-year-old. So we got to make sure the punishment isn't too harsh for the age, but isn't too light for the age. So we got to find that perfect median in between. We got to also make sure we explain the offense and a consequence, because each child need to know what they done wrong, why we're not going to tolerate that what was done wrong, and the consequences for for that happening. I tell my oldest son all the time that the consequences for not following rules, everybody has to pay them. Criminals that steal has to go to jail. Every age, the more responsibilities you get, the older you get, the harsher the consequences are. So I install this in him now, so he has that knowledge of, you know, disciplinary early, so he don't have to wait until he's old enough where it's though it's jail time. the consequences, are crazy then, and I also just put those things into play, whereas though I make sure that the offense and the consequence for the offense, are very very clear, you know. So, in raising kids and babysitting kids, we got to make it a fun job, It can't be we running around and we're tired and we're exhausted and we're aggravated, agitated. It takes out a lot of energy out of all of us, but we have to put that energy right back into them because kids are our future. That means learning the SpongeBob song. Sometimes I wake up singing a theme song to a cartoon on the Sprout Network, and I'm like, why I can't get the song out of my head? Um, Krabby Patties. I'm a SpongeBob fan now because I have two kids that love SpongeBob. So it changes things about us, but it installs great things into them. And before I leave, I just want to let you know that as parents, we have a responsibility to raise a productive adult. That's huge. You know, I pretty much take the things that I was raised with and that made me a better man and put them into my kids. But I also added, I felt like the things that I didn't get, that I missed. And hopefully I can push these two boys into productive young men, with a grasp on education, a grasp on consequences for their actions, a grasp on responsibility. And these are all things that I've installed in them in a young age as a dad. So I hope these things that I've told you will help you, and good luck on raising your kid into an adult.